Hello guys, and welcome to round 7 of season 4 in F2. As you can see today, we are at Zandvoort, a circuit which I personally don't know very well, but what I do know is that it will be very challenging for the drivers, and hopefully, like F3, maybe not too much action, but hopefully we see some good action, some good wheel-to-wheel racing. Before we go any further, I'm going to take a look at the current championship standings. As far as I can recall, I think there were a few changes to the finishes in F2 last week due to penalties, but I'll have a look at that right now. So currently, 5-shot Ryan leads the championship by 13 points to Tobias in the Williams. Just check that I see 5-shot Ryan's here. Tobias is also here. From Otapa, the leading Mercedes, he's on 61 points over a race win behind the top two. So it'll be interesting what Genio, after scoring his first podium and first race win in ERO this season after the wet race in Great Britain, is currently 4th in the standings, so he'll be looking to pick up some good points and hopefully take the challenge to those top 3 drivers. Besides that, we've got Lupus, who's also a race winner this season in P5 in the Alpha Tauri. Ed Zax, Tin Mats, Ahmed, Juanita, Sniper, Arctic, who I think is now a fellow Formula 1 driver, rounding out the top 10. So we'll see. It should be very interesting. What I do know about this circuit is if it's a dry race all the way to the end without safety cars, one of the keys will be looking after the front left tyre, as with the long right-handers it's quite easy for them to degrade and overheat. A lot of incident in F3 today. It was quite a good watch. We probably won't see as much incident, but I'm sure we may see a safety car. So it's a very challenging circuit with the long corners and the gravel traps. Quite old school in that sense. You don't find that many circuits with so many gravel traps nowadays. So as we wait for the drivers to ready up, I must really find a way to look at these comments. I think I'll go on my phone. It might make things a bit easier. Carsten, hello. Hello to you. And the 2 viewers we currently have for qualifying. I'm seeing, is that a bit of dampness on the track? I'm not too sure. It might actually be raining. Yeah, the F3 race was that was something to behold. That was really crazy. I'm wondering if the track is damp or if that's just the camera. I guess we'll find out in a moment. Looks like a few cars are on their way out on dry, soft tires. Okay, dry conditions all racing quality. Thank you very much, JJ Dog. So that makes things a lot easier. No rain today. See who's out on the track. Kadir, get the map up. We'll have lap data. Don't need the telemetry. Yeah, we'll go with the fitted tires, fastest lap, TV pod, wonderful. Okay, so it looks like the Renault of Lowkey, if I said that correctly, is going to be the first car to complete a lap. Quite a few drivers stayed in the pit lane. It's a very short lap around here, so finding enough space on the track will be very important. You don't want to run into any traffic. JJ Dog out on the mediums, which could be a very interesting strat. Oh, as Alex spins and loses some of his front wing on his out lap, he'll be on his way back into the pits. Or Tapa also on the mediums. So the medium tyre is an interesting strategy, because if there's a safety car, maybe in the middle part of the race, they can gain a real advantage. The soft tyres should last around between 12 and 15 laps, but the management of that front left will be very, very critical to anybody's race. As who was it that was on the lap? I think it was Kadir. No, it's Renault of Lowkey. We'll go on board with him, as he's actually finding some traffic. He loses the rear end a little bit, but Tim Matt dives out of the way as he goes very, very wide. So this will be the first lap on the board. I think the Alpha Tauri of Kadir is behind, as he does a 48.9 middle sector. Kadir 4 tenths up on that lap, so he will go quicker than Lowkey without any mistakes, as he takes to the final corner, the banking, and comes across the line with a 110.2. Kadir will most likely be in the 109s, 109.9, goes provisional pole, as Tobias takes 8 tenths out of that and goes 109.1. Otapa on the medium tyres into P3, as we see JJ Dog approaching the final 2 turns, and a Renault, I think, of Flo also about to finish his lap and goes P2 with a 109.8. So Tobias at the moment has got a pretty good gap to the cars behind him. JJ Dog pits, as I believe he invalidated his lap. Who else is out on the track currently at the moment? There's an Alpha Tauri on an out lap, so Lupus is about to begin his lap. McLaren coming around the final corner. Is that Red Zax? Yes, it is. He's about to finish his lap. He did an okay middle sector. We'll probably be looking at the low 109s, as he goes 110.2 up into P6. Only 7 cars having set a lap at this moment in time. There's a Mercedes coming around of Tim Mats. He goes P6 also behind his teammate who's on the medium tyres, so he will be looking to get another lap and go quicker than that. Williams is pitting. There's another Mercedes coming around. Is that a Tapa? And he's coming into the pit lane also. So it's seeming like everybody's doing 1 lap and then into the box, as Red Zack, I also believe, is coming to the pit lane. Or his teammate, rather, as I missed that his teammate went up into P4 with a 110 flat. And what Genio going up into P2 with a 109.8. So still Tobias's lap of a 109.1 is quite easily the fastest. You've got Lupus coming around the final corner. Hello, Houseman. I'm sure you watched the... I think he's made a mistake in there. He's got 115.4. I'm sure you tuned into the... yeah, this is Lowkey. Yeah, I forgot to say. Yeah, sorry. For those who don't know, I'm Lowkey Chibs. I drive in F1. I commentated in F2 a few weeks ago in Baku. JJ Dog has switched to the soft tyres and he's lost the rear end. He keeps out the barrier though, so he should be okay, but those tyres, he'll want to crawl round to keep those okay as cars are coming past, hopefully avoiding. There's a Ferrari of, I think, oh, it's Woodgenio, I think, is coming into the pits. 5-shot Ryan goes P3. on the mediums. He'll be very happy with that lap time as others struggle to find time. Wood Jr. I think is coming into the pit lane. Yes, he is. Ed Zach's also coming to the pit lane. There's an Alfa Romeo, I think of Alex, starting a lap. Nope, he's coming into the pit lane also. Tobias is on an outer lap, but I want to follow him through on that one. He did a very good first lap. We want to follow that on board as he's coming up to the final corner. Fire Shot Ryan, is he having another go? I think he is. So we'll stay on board with Fire Shot Ryan. As he nails the third to last corner, he'll want to improve on a 109.8. If he can, it would be a very good lap. As he just touches the curb on the inside, as he powers now down the main straight. Oh no, he's coming into the pit lane. So Tobias is who I'd like to follow on board. Very, very tricky circuit. There's a car up ahead and he stopped right in the... Ooh, that was a... Yeah, that was a bad one. Lupus did not... He failed to get out of the way there. He did not see Tobias coming. That could be a penalty as Tobias's lap is now ruined after doing an okay first sector. There's a Williams coming into the pit lane. Yes. John Gacho is about to start a lap, coming around the final corner now. Yellow flags in the middle sector. I think it is Lupus slowing down. We'll have a look. Yes, Lupus going slowly. I wonder whether he's run out of fuel. It sounds like he has run out of fuel. And McLaren's going quicker in his first sector, also in the middle sector, so he's finding some time, looking to make it to the top 5 as he makes a mistake going through that very tough right left-hander. He may have lost a lot of time there. We'll see if he improves as he's coming across the line. And he doesn't improve yet. He lost a lot of time in that final sector. It's very easy to do on a very, very tricky circuit. As Flo is on a lap, or preparing a lap, or coming into the box, I have no idea. We're about to find out. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's gonna gain any time. His lap will probably be finishing. An Alfa Romeo of Alex starting his lap. So with 10 minutes to go, 13 cars have put a lap on the boards. John Gacho goes P2 with a lap that's got within half a second of Tobias. He's one of the first drivers to do so. Or 109.4. He'll probably be happy with that. As JJ Dog goes even quicker, 109.4, fractionally quicker, maybe 5,000ths of a second. Hundredths rather. Red Zach's going P4, so you can see the track is ramping up and cars are really beginning to find their times as Fire Shot Ryan is also on the lap. There are 3 cars coming around the final corner. We'll stay on board with Fire Shot Ryan at the moment, as I'm sure he'd love to challenge Tobias' lap time of a 108.9 now. He's brought the benchmark down as he's finding traffic. Oh, he's gained a 10th in the first sector, so he may have gotten away with that, but the traffic is really seeming to be a problem here. I want to stay on board with this lap because there's cars everywhere on the track. See if he can find any time, as I think Flo might have gone into P4. Rear end stepping out a little bit there. This will be... Ooh. Let's see where Fire Shot Ryan can go. He improved in both of his sectors, but he had a little bit of traffic. Will he go quicker? Yes, he goes P3 with 109.4. And there's a McLaren coming around the final corner. I think of Red Zach, he's coming to the box. Tin Mats is on a slow lap. The guy in P8 now, I think he's just gone P8. So we'll look at the gaps. You can see that from second to third is more or less nothing. 10 hundredths, thousandths of a second, whatever you call it. covering from second to third, but Tobias having a healthy gap out front, half a second lead. We'll see there's a Mercedes of Tin Mats also coming into the pits. Gaif going slowly. Lupus is on a lap here, I believe. He's got a little bit of traffic up in front. He managed to get out of the way. And now for Mayo coming around to finish his lap. Nope, he's coming to the pits. So we'll follow Lupus on board. A Red Bull and a Ferrari are also coming across the line. I think that's Edzax who's coming into the pits. So Lupus improving by just over a tenth. He's got the very tricky final sectors to negotiate, as there are yellow flags in the middle sector, and I see a McLaren going slowly. I think that is JML. Yep, I think he's run out of fuel. As Lupus is about to power across the line, nope, he chooses to come into the pit lane also. So Jorginho on a lap, he'll be looking to improve after a good start to qualifying. Let me just make sure, is he the only person on a lap? It seems like so. Red Zax, JML, I think is starting his lap now. Yep. So Jorginho, who according to the screen is on a purple middle sector, we'll find out how true that is in a moment, how close he can get to Tobias, as it seems like he's taken that final corner or second penultimate corner very well. And he chooses to box. Maybe he lost some time there. Okay, so there's currently 5 drivers, 6, 7 drivers out on track. There's yellow flags being waved in the middle sector. I believe that's still for the second win. Oh, JML is off the track in the first sector, as Pricky's losing time. There's a Mercedes on the track of Otapa, who also boxes. It seems like every time I switch to somebody, they're going into the pit lane. Okay. Is he gonna pit? Nope, he stays out, and he's going to come across the line with a 109.6. So Kadir puts himself up into P6, as John Gacho is about to start his flying lap. There's a Red Bull in the final sector of Edzax also on an out lap. So we'll follow, I see Tobias out on the track, also on a lap, so we'll use first. Okay, Tobias. We'll follow Tobias as he looks to extend his advantage out front. Hello, Luke. So Tobias improving his middle sector. It's looking like a very good lap at the moment, but still a very tough corner to negotiate here, and he gets it spot on. So it looks like he will be going quicker as Tobias crosses the line and does a 108.7 and throws the benchmark even lower for the drivers behind. John Gacho is pitting. He probably did not improve. Flo has done a personal best middle sector, as a lot of the drivers are in the pit lane, which means the final squabble for places on the track will most likely be very crazy, as Flo improves his middle sector by a 1/10.5. Ooh, invalid. Oh, that's such a tough corner, because ever so slightly onto the white line and the lap's invalid. Unfortunately for Flo, he remains in P5. He should get enough time to get in and out if he's got the tyres, as Tobias is negotiating his way back around the track. So we take a break, it seems, before the calm before the storm, as the majority of drivers are still in the pit lane. But now, on their way out, Gaia seems to be the one leading the pack. Edzax maybe starting a lap or coming in. I think he'll be coming in, so he won't get another lap in this session. So it's the Ferrari of Gaia who's currently going to be the first person across the line, or JML rather, who's already on a lap, with Lupus coming into the middle sector. He'll want to improve that from P16 and a 110.1. Oh, as he invalidates. Oh, he invalidates at the wrong time. He's still going to come across the line. Probably going to see what lap time he put in. A 109.5. That would have put him up into P5, but instead it remains P16 for Lupus. That's very unfortunate. We've got the Ferrari here of Gaia. And many, look at all the cars in front of him. He may have some problems negotiating the track here. There's so many cars in the middle sector at the moment, slowing down to begin their fast laps. Let's see if he can get through without any problems. Still 45 seconds left in qualifying, so even the cars in here. Oh, as Red Sax blocks him. Oh, I wonder if he lost time there. That was a very difficult one. And whilst he's warming up his tyres, and there you go. Yep. Yeah, his lap I'm sure is ruined. I'm sure there'll be penalties dished out as well. Drivers unfortunately behind, not paying attention. As Gaia goes into P5 still. With all the traffic, still manages to get up into P5. 5-shot Ryan's improved on his first sector by a 10th. He'll be looking to get on the front row with Tobias, as JJ Dog still in the pits. I see a Mercedes rounding the final corner of Tin Mats, who's going to come up to the line and put himself into P10 with a 109.7 ahead of his teammate, who's also going to follow up to the line. As Otapa stays P11, doesn't improve on his final lap. There's a Renault of not Flo, Lyse rounding the final corner, who's improved in his middle sector by just about 2 tenths or almost 2 tenths. He goes through with a 109.9 and puts himself up into P14. There's yellow flags being waved in the final sector. It's John Gacho who's in the barrier as cars are, oh, and he's reversed into, is that Jorginho? May have just DNF'd. Oh, that's a shame, and I need to recalibrate myself and find out what is going on, as Flo is about to come across the line and goes P3 with a 109.3. Very good lap for him. With the carnage that was going on in the final sector, I think Jorginho may have DNF'd, crashing into John Gacho. I see Alex, I think he's finished his lap. Lupus off the track. So I think with all the carnage going on, quite a few cars found it hard to find an improvement, especially the ones higher up. I think Pricky may have improved up into P6. Fire-shot Ryan puts himself up into P2 with a 108.9, so he's got himself on the front row. So I think that is all for the qualifying session. Our top 3 is Tobias, followed by Fire-shot Ryan with Flo in P3. JJ Dog managed to keep a good position up in P4 after not coming out at the end for a lap, as a car behind has lost his front wing, but I think that's just Codemasters being Codemasters. Excuse me. So it looks like we are set up for a very good race. Jorginho will probably be disappointed with P13, as I don't believe he got to finish his final lap. I'm going to look at the chat and see if that was the case. Oh, okay, he had wind damage. Yeah, I thought so. Hello to No Commentary Gamer. Me personally, I'm very, very well. Hopefully we're about to have a good race. It seems like we're about to have a good race. I'd say, let me check the gap to the leader. So from, and I didn't see it, it's calm, I'll check it out. So as you can see, from P3 down to P7 is just under 0.2 of a second, so very close. There's about 3-4 cars doing almost the same time between 10th and 14th, so we should have an interesting race on our hands today. It must be my voice that the people don't like. Only 3 people in the stream, it's okay. Hopefully we have a good race. I'll have a look at the standings one more time. Tobias and 5-shot Ryan line up on the front row. Yeah, so the top 2 in the championship line up side by side, covered by 13 points. So we'll see how this plays out. Otapa, unfortunately, is in the middle of the pack, I think down in P10. As we prepare for lights out. As we begin the formation lap, I'd like to see who outside the top 10 has chosen. Well, yeah, there you go. Everybody from 11th down to 18th from the medium tyres, with JG, who I don't actually think participated in qualifying, starting on the softs. That may not have actually been his choice, as it looks like Alex and JML come together there. Yep, and they're both put back on the grid for making contact. You set everything up. Track map, intervals, TV pod, there we go. Okay, so Tim Matz, the furthest car forward, starting on the mediums. He'll be looking to go very long into this race and have some pace at the end. With Tobias and 5-shot Ryan leading them away as Flo warms up his tyres. I'm sure JJ Dog will be looking to score some big points today, starting from a very good 4th position. With John Gacho and Pricky following very closely behind. Gaev, Kadir, Redzax and Edzax. Redzak and Edzax rounding out the top 10. For some reason, this game is still showing a fastest lap set by somebody in qualifying. I don't understand why, but who really understands Codemasters anyways? How can I even change that? Is there any way for me to change that? No, it's just gonna be there forever. Okay. So, oops. As the grid is quite congested. Oh no, yeah, those 2 already on the grid. A very, very interesting race where ERS is also very difficult to save, so maybe those that manage to save their DRS best will have a good end of the race, or at least don't use it too much on the start. So we line up on the grid. I know it's really when the lights go out, the lights don't really go out, but again, that's just Codemasters, so I'll wait for any movement before there's green flags being waved. As a tyre strategy, soft, medium, I don't believe anybody will be doing that, but we are about to find out anyways. As it's lights out, and then where we go, it looks like 5-shot Ryan gets a decent start on Flo, is going around the outside in turn 1. of both cars, but I think Tobias maintains the lead. Fast Shot Ryan come back at Flo. A lot going on down in the midfield, but we'll follow this as Fire Shot Ryan maintains his position. JJ Dog also in P4. There's a car ghosting there. I think that's Otapa. Alex looks like he's running side by side with a Renault. Not too sure who. Tim Matt swapping places with Ramos. There's a yellow flag and it's a Renault of Flo who flows off. And oh, it's Carnage. Who's that? I think it's Gaif as well. No, it's Wujinho. So the Renault Flow safety car. Not sure what has gone on there. Renault has spun out. So has Tim Mats. Wujinho is out of this race. No idea what happened there, as the timing was buggered up as JJ Dog leads the race. No, Tobias takes it back. I wonder how many cars will pit. There's still a lot going on back in the midfield, or rather the middle of the pack, as Lysa gets a 5-second time penalty. Will Tobias pit? No, he stays out. JJ Dog comes into the box, I'm assuming for hard tyres, as does Pricky, who's now up into P3 after all of the madness that was going on there. We'll find out what tyres they're going. JJ Dog puts on new mediums, so I wonder if Tobias will regret not pitting. Loads of cars in the pit right now, all coming on for new medium tyres. JG finds himself in P5 after starting last, so that was I'm not too sure what went on there. I'd like to hear from Wujinho. Yeah, me personally, I wouldn't pit because it's very early, but it seems like some of them don't feel that way, as I don't believe JJ Dog had damage, but he's still up into P7 now on new mediums. He can now do what he wants with his strategy. So wow, what do I say? I need to find out what happened there. Tobias reported. I have no idea what happened, and it's so annoying that I didn't see that either. Yeah, there's no way you can go for a medium to the end. So I'm sure they'll be looking to maybe be quicker at the end of the stint. It's basically like switching strategy, pitting for mediums in that one, but especially without damage. But what can you do? We'll see how it plans out. As Gaia is saying 7 seconds, but you code masters. In the spectator menu on. What I'd like to see is, okay, so we'll go with that. So Bossy Vamos has found 10 positions, I think, starting on the medium tires. So him starting on those tires has paid off well for him. JG on the softs up into P5. JJ Dog losing 3 places, but he should be in a decent position, maybe in about 10 laps or so, but we'll see how things pan out. Lysa also gaining 5 positions. I want to see the stops now. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Fire Shot Ryan may have been involved in the incident there, having to stop on lap 1 for the medium tires after starting on the softs. So that was carnage, I'm sure. I assume the safety car will be in this lap, as it looks like the pack are all very much bunched up. Okay. We'll go with the leader. I don't need lap data. Yeah, we'll stay with that for now. Will the safety car be? Yep, safety car in this lap. So the soft tire runners will be looking to get away as quickly as possible before they start to lose time. F from oh, I'm very confused as to what happened. I think Wujinho might have made a mistake. I'm not too sure, but we see here Tobias backing up the pack as the safety car comes around the final corner. And he's gone. It looks like Kadir could get a good run on him though. He's using his overtake. As a yellow flag, I think somebody's spun. There's a Mercedes side by side as Bossy looks to come past JG, or Red Zax rather, sorry. Side by side. Oh, yellow flag to sector 1. Something happened with Ed Zax. I'm not too sure. Someone's lost their wing as JG's losing places and he's lost the rear end. He's lost it. And everybody streams past, unfortunately for him, after having a very good start. He is now at the back of the grid. Need to recalibrate. There's a lot going on. Not leader, interval. As Red Zax is on the rear. No, he's not. The time is just bugging. JJ Dog, ooh, he keeps it together. Just about. As Kadir still looks at his yellow flags all the way at the back. There's a Renault, it's Flo who's gone round again. And a Red Bull of Ed Zax who's also gone round. Carnage. Another safety car's out. I wonder if somebody DNF'd. I don't think so. I think there was probably just an incident. Will Tobias pit? No, they choose not to. Interesting. They choose to stay out still. I probably would have pitted, but wow, we'll see what happens. As 2 safety cars at the start of this race. There was 3 safety cars in the race in F3, so I wonder if we'll be matching that today, as there are cars in the box, I'm assuming for front wing damage. Yet 5-shot Ryan's picked up front wing damage and is in the pits, as is Lysa, as is the McLaren. So much front wing damage, I'm assuming a lot went on there. Or Tapper out. 5-shot Ryan puts on the hard tires. He'll be looking to go as far as possible, maybe to the end. About 30 laps I think is what the hard tires do, so we'll see. Yeah, so yeah, as No Commentary Gamers said in the comments, there's only been about 1 lap without, well, normal speed. I don't even know if it's been a complete lap, but yeah, this race at the moment still with 18 runners, but with 2 safety cars. There could still be quite a few more. We'll wait and see. It's only the top 2 still on the softs, so they'll be looking to go far into the teens, maybe around lap 15, 16, and then maybe switch to the mediums, but they'll have to hold track position. I'm sure at some point they will begin to come under pressure from the medium tire runners, whose tires will be in much better shape. So let's have a look at the stops. 5-shot Ryan's had to pit twice for front wing damage, as well as a topper. Kadir up 6 places now, still in P2. Himself and Tobias the pole sitter. 5-shot Ryan starting in P2 is now down into P12. He'll be looking to regain some track position and chase on his championship rival. Lupus, who had a spin early, if I recall well, now finds himself up into P6. So this race playing out well for quite a few drivers. Yeah, you see Bossy up into P11. Has he stopped? No, he hasn't. Starting on the medium tires. Might be something I'd have to think about for tomorrow. So again, the calm before the storm. Excuse me. Safety car in on lap 6. So, for the second time, Tobias will look to back up the pack, as Ed Zax and Pricky are switching places. Maybe that's just the game. That's a good camera shot we've got there of JJ Dog. You want to mind your front wing in this situation. Anything but the front wing. As I think Tobias goes, and Kadir's got a 5-second penalty for a collision. I don't know about that, but that is it's like Lupus. He spins out in the final corner and he's out of the race. Will that be another safety car? Surely it'll be another safety car. Okay, no safety car. So unfortunately for Kadir, who's lost some of his front wing also, is now under pressure from JJ Dog, who looks to put himself in a podium position and gets past. Fairly easy, as Gaiath is also out of the race. In the first sector, I think he's lost his rear and the heavy banked left-hander. And then we'll gain a place. Bossy's lost some of his front wing, is now losing positions after such a great start. A bit of the commentator's curse as Alex drives into the back of him, hopefully avoiding wing damage. And so much going on in the midfield right now as Otapa or Lysa looks to get past Otapa. Going into the final sector, goes up the inside, thinks twice, which is probably the smartest thing to do. Redzax maintains position as Tim Mats also gets past Bossy. He'll be looking to pit as he's losing positions by the corner. Yeah, he comes into the box. That's very unlucky for him after a very good start to the race. Kadir is still on the back of Tobias. It looks like he'll be looking to put a move on him very soon as he's managing to stay within distance. JJ Dog really right now just needs to maintain position, as those two front runners on the soft tyres will be in the pits within maybe the next 5 laps, as Edzax gets by Lezes. 3 cars are fighting over P11 or P10 rather, 4 cars. Oh, Pricky tries to squeeze through, there's no space around the outside, thinks twice of it. Edzax also all over the rear of Redzax. So we'll watch this from the back as Fireshot Ryan's coming closer to Flo, but we'll see if Edzax tries a move. He doesn't. It's very as Redzax uses his rear end, and now it's 4 abreast. Oh, this is no way this ends well. 3 cars into 1, and somehow they get out unscathed. Ooh, just about. Oh, as he loses the rear end. This is very good racing here. As we check with Flo as he's coming up behind Tim Mats. Tim Mats goes defensive. He's going to try around the outside. Tim Mats defends his position very well. And now back to the battle for 10th position. Lice is holding on to the rear end. As there's a mixture of, well, 3 cars on hard tyres here, 1 on the mediums. As we've got Flo still close behind Redzax. There's a few, I wouldn't call them trains, but Otapa's kind of by himself at the moment with the battle for P10 and the battle for P7 going on around. So it seems like Pricky's fallen a bit further back with that little mistake he made, as Alex gets a 3-second time penalty. Fireshot Ryan is saying it's 3/10 behind Flo, but I'm not seeing Flo anywhere. Oh, there we go, sorry, wrong person. Oh, as he goes a little bit wide. This is the battle for P6 or P5 rather, as Alex is on the hard tyres with 2 cars in between on mediums. We'll watch it from Flo as Tim Mats thinks twice, but Fireshot Ryan got up the inside, and it's a risky move. I wonder if he lost some of his wing. Edzax, oh, it's going on everywhere. Edzax gets past Lysa. As Fireshot Ryan's still very close to Flo. He's really trying to find a way past. It seems like he's got the pace. Has he got the patience? We'll find out. As JJ Dog still only 2.5 seconds behind the lead 2 drivers. I wonder if Fireshot Ryan will try and move up the inside. Oh, as Flo loses the rear. It's so easy to lose some of your front wing around this track. As Fire Shot Ryan gets past Flo. We're still watching the gap with Edzax. And the Red Zack, I don't think he'll try a move there. So he'll have to wait for the next lap. But Fire Shot Ryan now wants to be making an impression on Tim Mats and make his way up into P5 on the hard tyres, as Fire Shot Ryan is very low on the ERS. So now we follow Edzax, who's apparently not opened his DRS. He hasn't for some reason. And he goes up the inside. Red Zax is going to get the undercut. No, he doesn't. And he maintains, well, Edzax goes up into P10. So there's a few cars here on the hard tyres. And the medium runners really looking to make position. Tim Mats still looking to find a way past Alex, who has a 3-second time penalty. This is a very good battle going on here for P5, with John Gatchell ever so slightly ahead. And there's a yellow flag in sector 2. It looks like it's Pricky who spun out, unfortunately for him. As this battle for P6 continues, I wonder, and you see here Flo has got a lot of VRS there saved up, so I wonder if he'll be looking to deploy that very soon, as Fire Shot Ryan is looking to get past and hasn't got enough VRS. Oh, he gets by on traction. I wonder if Tim Mats made a little error there in the middle of the corner, because Fire Shot Ryan makes his way past. As there's yellow flags in sector 1, I think it's Lysa. He's probably clipped the inside of the curb and spun his rear. That's unfortunate for him. Out in front, Kadir is still managing to stay in Tobias's DRS zone. So I wonder what impact this could have on the final standings in this race, whether he'll be looking to make an undercut. The racing point of John Gatchell maintains P4, with Alex now closing the gap behind him on the hard tyres. And we see this battle will be a 5-way battle very, very soon. It's currently the only real battle on the track, as most cars are well spaced. As Tobias hits and his yellow flags in sector 2, I think Pricky spun again. As Fire Shot Ryan looks to get past Alex, but without much ERS, or neither of them have much ERS. And they're very, very close. They make some contact, but it's okay. Alex. Ooh. Yeah, this is Otapa will want to get involved in this very soon, as it seems like they're slowing each other down, really. Fire Shot Ryan, not Fire Shot Ryan, sorry, Tobias pitted for the hard tyres, so he'll be going to the end now. I wonder how long Kadir will look to extend his stint, maybe to go for mediums. If he can go maybe another 5 or so laps, he can put on the mediums and go to the end. We'll be watching this one with close interest. As 2 of these cars are harvesting, it looks like Flo is he's waiting for the moment to push. He's got a lot of DRS there. The cars in front have more or less none, and it's very difficult to save DRS. So we'll see what happens now. Onboard Tim Mats, as Alex goes defensive. Will Fire Shot Ryan look to throw at the inside? He does, but he just leaves his car there. So they make a little bit of contact, but it's okay. Alex maintains his position, well defended. This is a very good battle we've got going on here for P4. It seems like Fire Shot Ryan has got the pace if he can get past, but getting past is definitely one thing. Yeah, I think Kadir should go. He should keep extending and go for the mediums, 100%. It seems like JJ Dog is really starting to close the gap on him though, so we'll see how that ends out, as these cars still here in the between 4th and 8th. now begin to scrap. If I'm Kadir, I'm looking, to be fair, you might not know, but I'm looking at the fact that Tobias is now catching this squabble of cars, and he's most definitely going to lose time. It's looking like it could be a battle of the drivers on the hards currently to win the race. The medium drivers may need to pit again unless it's a safety car. As 5-shot Ryan looks to can't be inside. Not enough DRS though. Ooh, he sends it. No, he doesn't. As there's yellow flags in the middle sector, it's a racing point. I think he's out of the race of JG. Will there be a safety car? He's got it going. It says he's DNF'd. I'm not too sure what's going on there. As 5-shot Ryan still looks to find a way past Alex. Ooh, and he's almost pushing him around the track. Well, he is literally pushing him around the track. So Tobias is about to lose a lot of time. As 5-shot Ryan, I think he tried to dive bomb and didn't quite work out. He's now under pressure from Tim Mats. As Flo is now also looking to get in on this. As Tim Mats goes up the inside, and he's gone straight into the back of 5-shot Ryan. He's lost some of his wing. Tobias is going to be losing a lot of time, as JJ Dog is also closing the gap on Kadir out in front. There's a lot going on right now. Flo has lost some of his wings, so he'll be looking to pit, but he needs to mind out that Tobias is up his inside. As 5-shot Ryan also boxes. I wonder if he's got wing damage. We'll definitely find out in a moment. I think he has got wing damage. Maybe for the wing damage, he changes his front wing. He will be unhappy to be seeing that, as John Gacho maintains P2 and Kadir box for the medium tires. Now down into P8. He may have lost a lot of time, as he's found himself almost 10 seconds behind Tobias. Maybe his tires fell off the cliff and maybe made a mistake, because that's a very, very big gap. Whether he'll be able to make it up or not, we will see probably in the next few laps, as the mediums will be quicker than the hards at the moment. So currently it's JJ Dog 9 seconds out in front. Oh, he's just got a penalty. Really what he needs now is just a clean drive to the end and just hang on to the tires. He may have to box again though with 20 laps to go. I don't think those medium tires will go 33 laps. That would be quite an ask, unless it's a safety car. It's looking like the hard tire runners of Alex are in a very good position. As I say that, Alex spins out on the final corner. You called commentator's curse. If there is such thing, then I guess that is the commentator's curse right there. As he also gets a 3-second time penalty. So what I can imagine is he's gone onto the curb, onto the white line, and he's lost the rear end and he's gone into the barrier. So that is very, very unfortunate for Alex, as he was in a very good position on those hard tires. He now pits for mediums. Tin Mats now coming up behind JJ Dog, as JML gets a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Wow. I think we get a small break for a moment. No, we don't, as something's happened with Flo. He's gone very deep in the corner, very strangely. Tim Mats and Tobias are still very close together on the track, as Alex comes out in P14. We'll go and look at the front runners, as Tobias is still looking to, now he's looking like he's best placed for the race win on those 3-lap old hard tires. So staying out at the moment looks like it was the right idea, as he does the fastest lap of the race from a 112.5. 5-shot Ryan's out on the soft tires. To go 18 laps, you need a safety car, otherwise your front left will be dead by the end. So I wonder whether that's what he's banking on, as Kadir does the fastest lap on those medium tires, and it looks like he's closing the gap very, very quickly to the runners ahead of him. He'll be looking to make up for lost time. JJ Dog still out in front, 10 seconds, as Pricky's in the pits and Alex is behind Bossy Ramos. Lysa behind, I think he's just been passed by 5-shot Ryan on those brand new soft tires. Tobias still looking to make an impression on Tim Mats. as he, well, I'd say locks up, but sometimes Codemaster shows the lock up and really nobody locked up. So I just say as he breaks very, very heavily going into that corner. With Tim Mats having DRS and not a lot of ERS, I wonder if Tobias is looking to make a move here, and yes, he moves to the inside. Can he maintain that position though? Ooh, Tim Mats tries to hold it around the outside, but Tobias gets the move done. So JJ Dog will want John Gatcho to really keep Tobias behind, but with John Gatcho on those 16 lap old mediums, I'm sure Tobias will be rubbing his hands together at the prospect of getting past and chasing down the man in P1. 5-shot Ryan coming up behind Red Zach. As I believe he's about to make a move. He's really all over the back as Tobias is on the rear of John Gatcho. That's a very difficult corner to make the overtake. I'm sure JJ Dog, I wonder when he'll pit, as Flo gets a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings, and it looks like this will be easy meat, or no, he doesn't go into the pits. Tobias gets past. Now he's got 20% ERS. Excuse me, sorry. We'll look at the gap between him and JJ Dog and how quickly he can close that gap. We've got Kadir currently in P7. He looks like he'll be going to the end, as JML gets another penalty for corner cutting. Tim Mats is looking now to get past John Gatcho. He looks like he's struggling. I wonder if these guys are waiting for a safety car. If you pit now, you want to pit for mediums. If they've got another set of mediums, that is. There's not really anybody fighting on track at the moment besides these two, so we'll stay on board. As a Mercedes Otapa comes into the pits for hard tyres. I wonder if that's because he hasn't got another new set of mediums, but he'll be going to the end fairly easily. Sorry. 5-shot Ryan now up into P7. Tim Matt's still looking to get past John Gatcho. Who say needs to pit. I'm assuming that's because of tyres, or has he got damage? As he gets him in the traction zone, I was completely asleep there. I didn't even notice. Tim Mats now up into P3, but these two drivers, I'm assuming, will be pitting. So it looks like Kadir is in good position to get on the podium with that great first stint he did. Tobias now has cut the gap down by about a second in the last 2 laps. I do wonder if JJ Dog will... No, I don't think it's possible. 30 plus laps on the mediums is a long way to go, but I do wonder if he's got a new set of softs that he might have saved after not going out at the end of qualifying, and he'll want to put those on at the end. He'll be very, very quick. So, after 22 laps of great racing, carnage, whatever you want to call it, the top 10 is JJ Dog, who still has to pit. Tobias in P2 after extending his first stint on the softs with the 2 safety cars. Tim Mats in P3, John Gatcho 4th, Ed Zacks 5th, Kadir in P6, who's looking to make his way back up to the podium after also extending his stint. Fire Shot Ryan now in P7. Red Zack P8. Lyse 9th, or Tapper rounding out the top 10 with Flo 9 seconds behind in P11. Alex, who got some damage as JJ though comes into the pits, and there's a yellow flag in the middle sector. It's a McLaren. JML, who I don't think's had the greatest of races, as JJ though pits for mediums, so he'll be very, very quick to the end on those fresh mediums. Got a battle in the midfield here with Otapa, Lyse, and Red Zack. Oh, he spun it. Otapa spun, he spun the rear, but he's kept out of the barrier. So he should be okay. JJ Dog's out in P6, so now he'll be looking to, with all that ERS he's got, he'll be looking to use that wisely and cruise up to the cars ahead. 3 of them still need to pit. So really the battle for P2 at the moment looks like it will be between JJ Dog and Kadir, unless JJ Dog can really find the pace and begin to go quicker than the man out in front, Tobias, and look to take the race win. Lyse and Red Zack still fight as John Gacho pits for soft tyres. I do wonder if maybe JJ Dog didn't have a set of new softs, because I would have waited to go out on those for 12 laps. You'd be alright, but we'll find out very, very soon as Lyse gets past and Red Zack tries the cutback. John Gacho gets a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane line. That is such an annoying penalty to get. Yellow flags in sector 3, and there's a virtual safety car. Pricky's out of the race, so they're cautious to throw that 3rd safety car. Instead, we've got a virtual safety car, and who does that help, if anyone? I don't think anybody can jump into the pit lane. Tin Mats is a bit too far away. He would have been praying for that virtual safety car to come out a bit later, or sorry, even a safety car rather. As Tin Mats and Ed Zacks, I'm assuming will be looking to pit, because going 30 laps on mediums is very, very difficult. JJ Dog now 1.5 seconds behind Kadir, who put those mediums on 7 laps prior. Red Zack and John as Ed Zacks and Tim Mats pit for soft tyres, so the end of this race is looking like it's going to be a very interesting one, as Kadir and JJ Dog retake the podium. Fire Shot Ryan on those softs, going 11 more laps, probably won't be very happy. That front left will definitely be screaming in the next maybe 6 or 7 laps time. So it's looking like, and Ed Zacks gets a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane line. Oh, same penalty as John Gacho, as there's now 4 cars or 5 cars on the same bit of road battling for P6. Tin Mats further head up the road as JJ Dog is closing the gap on Kadir now. He's got a lot of ERS left as well. Fire Shot Ryan hasn't got too much ERS and may have to pit again, or most probably will have to pit again. I wonder when he'll look to do that. Lysa on the hards will probably be easy meat for John Gacho, as will Red Zacks for Ed Zacks. JJ's really closing the gap on Kadir. I wonder if he'll keep that overtake a bit to the end. This should be a fairly easy overtake for him once he gets to the back of him, as John Gacho gets a very good exit out of that final corner, and on the soft tyres goes up the inside, and it's a fairly simple move as Ed Zacks is still behind Red Zack. I wonder if you got to be careful. Yeah, you can't really try a move there. JJ Dog 3/10 behind. He'll want to get past as quickly as possible without making any errors, so he can get onto Tobias. JJ Dog really has a chance at winning this race if Tobias's tyres start to die at the end, because his tyres will only be 12 laps old. So JJ Dog really has an opportunity here. as Edzax is very close, almost losing his front wing behind Redzak, who'll be looking to get a good exit onto the DRS and make that move stick early as he goes up the inside. And job done for Edzax. So you see JJ Dog now, he'll want to get past, but Caddy will want to defend his place. He's going to try around the outside. He does try around the outside. Does he get it done? Oh, what a move by JJ Dog. That's a wonderful overtake. That's a wonderful overtake. Now he'll want to get onto the back of Tobias as quickly as possible as Lysa comes into the pits after doing 21 laps on the hard tyres. That was a wonderful move. He will be feeling very confident now if he's got enough pace. I'm sure Tobias will start to come back to maybe in the next 6 laps or so, but those hard tyres are fairly durable. I think to do about 25 laps. So although they will be coming to the end of the life, we'll see what happens. As 5-shot Ryan's still on the softs, I'm definitely sure he'll be looking to pit again. His tyres will be dead by the time the race ends. That front left will probably be on about 90%. Probably even have a puncture by then, but we'll see how it plays out. And we'll see how quickly JJ Dog can close that gap to the leader. As Bosses now comes up behind Lysa, who's put on the soft, so I'm assuming they won't be too close to him for too long. As Alex gets a 5-second or 3-second time penalty, I'm not too sure where, but Kadir not, as JJ Dog takes half a second out of Tobias on that last lap. Tobias cruising out front with 45% overtake left. You'll know that JJ Dog is on newer mediums, and we'll be hoping that. What's happened here? Oh, Alex is into the pits. I don't know how many pit stops he's had. Second, I think it's the 3rd stop for Alex actually. That will update in a second if I'm not incorrect. Also for soft tyres. So it seems like only 2 cars have done the 1 stop. As he crosses the pit lane, oh god, why is everyone doing that? I don't get it. Why just driving over the line? Tobias manages to keep his lead at about 9.5 seconds as Kadir is actually coming back at JJ Dog. I'm wondering if he made a mistake somewhere. If he wants to win this race, he'll have to finish it without any errors. Besides that, there are no battles currently going on the circuit. Alex, who just pit, is coming up behind JML, who's not had the greatest of races. I think stopping on 4 occasions. Yeah, that was Alex's 3rd stop also. Ooh. Oh, is he gonna get? Be careful there. Yeah, JML's this would be a fairly easy overtake as Bossy pits also for the soft tyres. Oh wow. Oh wow. As JML takes to the gravel. Oh, and he spins. So yeah, it seems like JJ Dog hasn't got the pace at the moment. I wonder if he's got some damage. His yellow flag's still being waved in sector 1. JJ Dog, at the moment, it's looking like he'll be fighting for the podium. 5-shot Ryan is really going to try and extend this stint. Commiserations if he makes it work, because 19 laps on the softs is not easy. It's definitely doable, but when you get to the final few laps, your front left wheel be dead. So we'll see how that plays out as Edzax is now coming up behind John Gacho after their stops. Such a tough race this is, a lot of consistency needed. It's very easy to make an error. You touch a curb, your car's going to spin, so well done to the drivers who've made it to lap 30. As John Gacho and Edzax are battling over P6. that was a strange one there. I wonder if John Gatchell will be a bit annoyed by that, but I guess we'll find out after the race. There's yellows in sector 1, and I think it's Alex. Yep. As Tobias, the leader, comes around to lap him, and I think he might have been put off a little bit by that. He's lost some time. Yeah. The fight for as Alex goes off again. Oh, DNF, he doesn't finish. There won't be a safety car, surely not. Yeah, just yellows. Ooh, if I saw a safety car, oh my days. That would have been something crazy. Alex fails to finish. Safety car would have made the race very interesting, but it's been a good race nevertheless. As we head into the final 5 laps of this race, the gap now between the front two is 8.2 seconds. 5-shot Ryan still managing to hang on in P4. With Ed Zacks and John Gatchell still battling for 6th position. Red Zack, who's been on the hards for 25 laps, I think has just been passed by Otapa. Okay, sorry, I just had to update myself on the current Manchester City score. For any football fans in here, it's 1-1 if you don't know. Kadir is still within a second of JJ Dog, but JJ Dog's still hanging on to 2nd position. As Ed Zacks and John Gatchell still close together. JJ Dog getting the gap down to 8 seconds as JML is really struggling. 5-shot Ryan gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh my god. Those penalties like that are so frustrating. Like, obviously I know as this yellow flag's being waved in the final sector on the gone, 5-shot Ryan puts on a new set of softs, so he'll look now to, if he gets out ahead, which he does. Still yellows in the final sector. There's a Renault. See what's going on. Not too sure why there's yellow flags. But yeah, 5-shot Ryan will be looking to get onto the back of Tim Mats to recover his P4. That was pretty smart. Just pit for the soft so the tyre you don't get a punch. I'm sure he'll be up to and past Tim Mats very soon on those fresh soft tyres. As Kadir and JJ Dog still jostle for the 2nd spot on the podium. Tobias looks like he's going to cruise to a victory without any mistakes. As Ed Zacks is having a look at John Gatchell. Race-long battle we've had here between the Racing Point and the Red Bull driver. Kadir still only 4 attempts behind JJ Dog. I wonder if palms are getting sweaty now as the race comes to a close, as Exax has no ERS to attempt an overtake. 5-shot Ryan's taken a 2nd out of Tim Mats. So it looks like at the moment, as it stands, Tobias will lead the championship in F2, followed by 5-shot Ryan as Wood Junior fails to finish. As you can see the amount of time he's gained on Tim Mats in a lap, about 2.5 seconds. As Kadir gets a 3-second time penalty. I wonder who has and who hasn't got penalties. We'll wait to the end to see it. Kadir will be frustrated with that one if that was his first, because that means that he will most definitely finishing P3 now, unless JJ has got some penalties of his own. 5-shot Ryan, well, you see the overtake there was pretty easy. Gets past Tim Mats. I wonder if he'll be trying to get the fastest lap now, as John Gacho and Edzax. Gacho with a lot more ERS than Edzax still maintains his position. Yeah, Kadir looks like he's backed off a bit now. Maybe his tyres are starting to fall away, having gone 18 laps on those mediums. So, starting the final lap almost will be Tobias. Currently 12 cars finishing, which I guess you can anticipate with a track of this nature, a very difficult circuit. Edzax and John Gacho still battling. I think there's a bit of lag there from Edzax. I wonder how this will finish. This is more or less going to be his final chance to make an overtake, as there's a bit of lag there. 5-shot Ryan does the fastest lap, 110.9 for that extra point, as Edzax is gaining but not enough on John Gacho. You see the battle for 2 points here, Redzak and Lyse. Redzak looking to go defensive, and Lyse goes up the inside and he makes it stick just about. So Tobias coming around the penultimate or final, I don't know if they call this 2 corners or not, but after extending his first stint, he wins the Dutch Grand Prix, as JJ though comes round the second to last corner for a well-deserved podium in P2. We'll look for penalties. Kadir finishes P3. There's yellow flags in the final sector. I think that's because the race is ending. We'll look for the penalties. Edzax, I think 5-shot Ryan has got a 5-second penalty, so we'll see how that plays out in regards to Tin Mats. And when he finishes P4, not yet, he gets P4. John Gacho P6, Edzax P7. Otapa, the second Mercedes car, finishing P8. He would have lost some ground on his championship rivals, as Redzax finishes in P9, Lyse in P10, rounding out the points. With Flo being, I'm assuming, will be very disappointed with P11, having been in fairly good position throughout the race. As Tim Mats gets driver of the day. Wow, well, it was a good race, I'd say, in most part. The end, I think it died down a little bit, but that's expected as cars start to spread out and ERS starts to be used up more. It was a good strategy from Tobias, the man who wins the race today. At some point it looked like who's the driver I'm thinking of? Well, we'll find out in a second. It looked like Kadir or JJ Dog could take the victory from Tobias, but in the end Tobias wins from pole. JJ Dog gains positions after starting in P4. Kadir 5 places up from P8. Tim Mats from P11 to P4. 5-shot Ryan will be very disappointed. I think there's a few incidents in there after starting P2. He's lost some ground on Tobias in the championship, finishing in P5. And yeah, it was a very eventful race. 4 stops, I'm sure he'll still be happy with that. And then quite a few DNFs, as you can see. Nevertheless, we'll be back tomorrow for F1, where I'm sure you'll find some very good racing, some very good action. So join us tomorrow at 6 o'clock. From Lowkey Chibs here, it's goodbye from ERO, and we'll see you next week for F2 at I think it's Monaco. Might be Monaco, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, goodbye.